Good morning. What's that?
No notification. Oh, there it is.
I don't get it.
At all?
No.
You probably need to change your...
I've tried. I get
settings.
every other notification. Somebody sneezed while looking at one of our posts. I get a notification about it. But I don't get a notification when we go live, and I don't understand. Good morning and good morning and good morning. Welcome to Monday. It 100% feels like a Monday to me right now. It's been the morning. Gary, good morning. Miss Elizabeth, good morning.
I'm right here.
Hi, I see you. Whoever else is out there, say good morning so I know you're there.
You can look at their profile pictures.
I know, but I don't know them all. I just knew that you were there. I can see you. I don't know others.
Oh.
I can see Gary. So I'm gonna go through the inventory stuff pretty quickly just to buy some time and get some more people in here. Then I want to talk about.
You always say you're going to go through it quickly. I don't think I've ever heard you say, I'm going to really take my time on the inventory today.
You can go away now.
No, I don't want to.
Jason, good morning to you. Jim, good freaking morning. I'm going to go through the inventory at a moderate pace today. Just to be different.
Just to be mediocre.
Just to be mediocre. So we're going to take a look at the inventory, whatever freaking pace I so choose. And then we're going to talk about more brace stuff. So last week there were a few meetings, online meeting things that we got to sit in on with the ATF. Liz is way too giggly for a Monday. This is very true. Rob, good morning. So we want to share some of the information that we gathered from there. Liz 100% punished herself and sat through this thing 4 times. But it was good. I sat through it twice. And it was good to hear some information, questions being asked and actually getting the same answers, which is good. But we'll talk about how much weight those answers have, at least in my opinion. So date night 2 this week, or this month. I think it's the whole month. The whole month. We have a date night special. So come out here with your date. We don't really care who your date is. All right. It can be your brother. It can be your cousin, it could be your wife or your girlfriend or your girlfriend and your wife, although it's really only for 2 people, so whatever it is. Date night special, $40 for non-members, $20 for members. You get a lane rental, gun rental, 2 targets, eye and ear protection, and then either 50 rounds of 9mm or 100 rounds of 22, and a small box of chocolates. How sweet are we?
That was a secret thing.
Oh, what? I didn't know it was a secret.
I think it's a secret.
Well, it's not anymore. For all 8 people that are watching, they all
like
know about it now.
A special.
Anthony, good morning. So come in, take advantage of that. Again, we don't care who your date is. Just come out. It's for 2 people. All right, this wall is kind of a mess with used guns and consignment guns and new guns. My girlfriend is my wife. Well, there you go. That's the best way to do it. We've got some used and consignment, which are used guns, but up here on the wall, precision rifles, ARs, shotguns, all sorts of stuff. Always worth checking this stuff out whenever you come in. And then moving on down to the shotgun side, I've got a Mossberg, a couple of 930s up top, and then some other pump action, 20 gauge, well actually semi-auto 20 gauge, and pump action Mossberg 500s and 590s. Jim, good morning. And then we've got a couple of shorties over here, Mossberg Shockwave, and then some Bullpup, Kel-Tec, and Smith & Wesson. What you messing with?
1301 wannabe.
1301 wannabe? Is that the Versamax? Those are actually pretty good shooting shotguns.
Yeah, I've never seen it before.
Yeah. The Versamax is actually a pretty good shooting shotgun. Looks good on you, Liz. I think you should buy it. Do it.
I already have 1301 or else I wouldn't.
Yeah, but that one's, well, not really. So that's a longer Pretty sure that's a 20-inch barrel. It looks longer. So it's different. There you go. Still have a... it's bigger than she is, that's true. Have a couple of Blizzard blowout sale CMMGs left.
I thought you said lizard.
Lizard?
Yes.
Liz the lizard?
You need to have a lizard blowout sale.
So as you can see, these are now bracelets. They have standard pistol tubes on it. We're going to talk about if that's a necessity or not here in just a minute. But got some cool stuff down here. And then on the long gun wall, we got lots of ARs, Black Rain, Rock River, some AKs from Century and Zastava. Some 308 guns. I've got a Scar 17 and 20. And then I've got a SIG 716, a CMMG 308. A couple of 308 rifles up there. Some bullpups, IWI, and Springfield. And then lots more pistols. CMMG, Banshees and Descents in 5.56, 9 mil. What else? 10 mil. 7.62 by 39 SIG and CMMG. So lots of options there. Into the pistol case. Again, we're going to talk about pistol braces and stuff here in just a second, as soon as we get through all the inventory. But some options from Shadow Systems, MR, DR, and XR pistols, and one CR. We should have this new CR 920Ps coming here soon. XDS, XDM, and Hellcats. Smith, Equalizer, Shield, EZ shields, 380 EZ shields, Shield Plus, Performance Center shields.
So is the Equalizer taking over the EZ, or are they making both of them? And what's the difference? Do you know?
Why you got to ask me all the hard questions?
I don't know.
No.
Valid question.
And yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are making both. I believe going to continue to make both. I don't think that they are changing it up.
Is it like the Performance Center model or something?
No, it's like a Shield Plus EZ, right? Isn't that right? Pull that out of there.
I think it's...
Here.
Oh, jeez. Why do you do this to me?
That one. Eugene, good morning. This was supposed to be super fast, Liz, and you're making us take longer. Why you got to ask questions?
It is mediocre.
Well, it is mediocre, but...
Okay.
Grandpa Rick,
Good morning.
what's the difference between the Equalizer and the regular shields?
Okay.
He started speaking French.
They're not the same caliber, so I can't compare capacity or size. Do we have a... easy...
Take the magazine out. Oh, that's single. That's a double stack. So it's the EZ Shield Plus.
Oh, it doesn't have those sliders on it either.
That's because it's double stack. So it's the Shield Plus, but in the EZ dumb grip safety version.
The safety is a little easier to push in.
I don't care. It's still dumb. It's still backwards.
I agree. I wish the grip safety was on there at all, but...
Yeah. We did have a student in class this weekend on Saturday who had 9 mil EZ, and she didn't have any problems with it. She had big hands, so she was able to disengage the safety pretty easily.
I've been able to tell people to not have a high grip on it. And just, like, really
That
sacrifice
sucks.
your grip. It does suck. But this, especially with ladies, this part of our hand is really soft, and that's what pushes that button in. And unless you have some...
Or that's what doesn't push the button in.
Exactly. So unless you have some pretty developed grip, which is the reason why this thing exists to begin with, you're not going to push that button in reliably unless you sacrifice your grip. I've had people had to hold really low here and cross their thumbs just
to hold
be
it down?
able to
Yeah.
hold that down. you're sacrificing so much, but
if you haven't figured out from any of my previous videos or what we're saying today, neither one of us are a big fan of it. We understand the intent of the gun, but it's just it's intended for people who don't have great strength and have a hard time racking a slide. Well, then you got to have great strength to squeeze that stupid safety in.
yeah.
John 57 Smith, I don't think we have any of them in yet.
That does look kind of neat. The internals on those are completely different. It's
Yeah.
like a piston operated.
Yeah, we've got the video playing up there. I watched it a couple of times. It's kind of an interesting design. I don't
Zero recoil.
I don't love that caliber.
I appreciate it. It's just I hate that it's so hard to find and it's so expensive.
It's expensive,
and
yeah.
Just all the. I mean, I think it's neat.
Neat.
It's
Neat. All right, back in the case. Sig, we have lots of legacy guns here. Lots of 226s in here. We have 365s, we have a 938, and lots of different 320 options to include an X5 Legion, X5 Legion Carry, M17 and nope, just a 17, and a VTAC. Lots of 92 Berettas, 92X RDOs, Performance, FS, and an M9. CZ Tactical Sport Orange is still in here. Really cool pistol. P10, C, Steyr, and a couple of VP9s. Leave the jokes, Jim. Leave the jokes. It's all good. FN 509 C's, T's, and M's and mids. FNX 45, 509 LS and CC Edge, Canic, Matei, Combat, SFX, Rival. Lots of Canic variants in here. Matei SFX Pro. Glock, let's see, for 9mm Glocks, I've got 43X, 45, 17, 19, to include a 19 with the new SCS optic, so direct mount, hollow sun optic.
I so appreciate Hollow-Sun for doing that.
Yeah, 100%.
I wish the battery was replaceable, but
It's 10 years
know,
though.
but
Now,
still,
I really do wonder what that's going to mean
actually
in 6 years.
yeah.
Like, am I going to start worrying about it? I don't know. But I don't know what the thing costs. A couple $100. Okay, 6 or 7 years. Get rid of it. Yeah, get rid of it. Walther, I've got PPQs, Q4 steel frame, CCP 380, PDP-C. We've gone through a lot of PDPs. We had several PDP-Fs and standard PDPs in there that are all gone. Gearson, Bursa, so on. AirX, Delta L, M, and X. Taurus, G3s and 4s, Mossberg, MC2, SAR 9, Savage Stance, yada, yada, yada. Taking too long here, so I'm going to skip all that stuff and go to the use case. Couple of SIGs in here, 320s, TP9 Elite, Sky, M&P 40, Glock 19. I can't believe that Glock 19 is still in there. Taurus 605, Ruger Security 9, Carr, Smith Shield, Walther CCP. Boom. Done.
Good job. That was really quick. It was actually pretty mediocre. Good job.
Anyway. All right, let's talk about braces for a moment. So big takeaways for me from the webinar.
Q&A.
Honestly, I think two big things stood out to me. Okay, Jeff, good morning. One of which being that simply removing the brace, keeping the standard tube that the brace was on attached to the pistol, makes it a pistol. Okay, taking the brace off and you're done. You don't have to put a pistol tube on it. If you're unfamiliar, let me show this real quick. A pistol buffer tube has no way for a brace or a stock to click into certain places, just a smooth tube. So the ATF said that in order to be in compliance, you do not have to replace your current buffer tube with a pistol buffer tube. You can leave it with the holes for engagement of the stock or the brace in this case. And that's totally fine. However, you have to be a little bit careful about constructive intent. Constructive possession. Constructive intent? Could you constructively intend to possess it?
I think that's what it implies is intent to,
Yeah.
to possess.
So, yeah, I would personally, I wouldn't trust that, okay? I would just put the pistol tubes are relatively inexpensive and are super easy to replace. Just replace it. However, you're in compliance, just taking it off. If that's the only thing you own, you bought one AR pistol and you want to keep it a pistol, you don't want to SBR it, then I would replace that tube with a pistol tube. Just because you've got nothing else to put that, what is now a stock, on any other gun. In my case, if I own a AR rifle and an AR pistol, I could make the argument that that stock was going to get put on my rifle, or has the potential to get put on my rifle. So you definitely don't want to store them together. You don't want to travel with them. You know, your AR pistol and the brace sitting in the bag with it. That could definitely get you in trouble. But if you want to just take it off and then throw that brace in a box and put it on a shelf in a corner of your basement or something, technically, you're good. I would be careful though. Anyway, the other big takeaway I had that I like it and I don't. So first off, this just being able to remove the brace thing, I like it and I don't, because they're saying it's okay, but they also said braces were okay for a long time, and then they just changed their mind and now it's not. So is that a potential of something that could happen? Absolutely. They could change their mind 6 months from now, 5 years from now. Well, hopefully this thing won't even be a thing in 5 years, but we don't know. Maybe it's 2 years from now and they decide, hey, anything that's got that on it is now an SBR. That's something to think about.
One other thing. Once you get your approval back, you can put whatever you want on it. So there's no.
That's if you Form 1 it.
Right. Yes. If you Form 1 it, you get your approval back, and you decide to make it an SBR.
If you want to make it an SBR, you do your Form 1. You get it tax free if you do it in 120 days, and you don't even have to get it back once you submit it. That was one of the other takeaways I was going to say. Is
I took it as you had to have your approval back, like you had to have passed the back, like you got your stamp back. I don't know, but that they were very specific when they said that.
I want to hear it because I disagree.
Well, I recorded it, so
okay. Because
I'll find it.
Here's why. Because normally I would 100% agree. Because if I was going to build prior to all these shenanigans, if I was going to build my AR pistol into an SBR, I could not put a stock on it until I got the approval. Okay, so when I built my current SBR, it was before we had all these fancy braces, right? So it had an original SIG brace on it. I could not put a rifle buffer tube on it and a stock until I got my approval. That's when it actually becomes an SBR. What they're saying right now is that as soon as you submit the Form 1 paperwork, if that's the way you want to go. I don't necessarily love this, but if that's what you so choose, then fine. Once you submit the paperwork, you're good unless you get a denial. Okay? So my initial thought was you submit your paperwork today, and 120 days, whatever that was, like May 31st or something, May 31st comes, you can't use that gun anymore until you get the approval, or you have to make it into a pistol until you get the approval. They said that is not true. That is, even once 120 days expires, that amnesty period or whatever the heck they were calling it, you're in compliance. You have to keep a copy of the Form 1 that you submitted for approval. You're in compliance with the law until you get a denial, essentially. more than likely you'll get an approval, and then you continue to be in compliance. So
I see what you're saying logically, but we all know that the ATF doesn't work on logic, and they did specifically say that once you submit the Form 1 and you're waiting for approval, you can continue to use it, you can continue to keep the brace on it or whatever. But from my understanding, they're very specific when they said you cannot add a stock to it. You cannot.
And I want to hear that, because that would contradict a lot of what they said. Because what they're saying is that if your pistol has a brace on it, it is an SBR. It's not a pistol anymore.
Right. So at that point, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. As soon as it has a brace on it, it's an SBR. So if once you're in compliance, you're in compliance, right? If you're in compliance with the law that you can legally possess an SBR.
But you're kind of implying that you're bypassing the forbearance. Well, that you're waiting for your forbearance stamp with a true SBR. I think
it is a true SBR.
I know, I get it, but it's like you're trying to game the system. It's like, oh, well, I submitted it with the brace, but I'm just going to switch it out with the stock as soon as possible while I'm waiting for my approval. And I mean,
there's really no reason to, in my opinion, to swap out the.
I would much rather have a stock.
Well, I would. I'm just saying if there's a question on whether it's legal or not. You've been shooting it that way for presumably a while anyway. Who cares? You can wait 6 more months or 8 more months or a year and a half or whatever the hell it's going to be.
I'm not putting stock on it until I'm not gonna SBR mine, but
I probably wouldn't either. I don't love. I mean, I
really want to.
I know. I like the idea of not giving the government $200. I hate the idea. I hate the idea of registering, because that's what you're doing. Is you're federally registering a firearm. I hate the idea of so many firearms being registered, and then there are tons of restrictions that come along with owning a NFA item, right? That you traveling or maybe your state. If you're in Illinois,
you can't go to Sparta with your SBR to go run a match or something.
So all your pistols you can't use anymore.
Not to mention, that's another one. So this question came up a lot. Is that, well, first off, answered Gordon's question.
Yes, Gordon is, and they addressed that specifically too in one of the sessions that I watched. It's 100% okay to have that sleeve on it. Yes, sir.
So the states that do not allow SBRs in NFA items, like the one next door to us, if you submit a Form 1 to try to SBR it, they're not going to send it back. They're going to say, no, you're denied because the state you live in does not approve of it. So they cannot override the state laws, and so you're kind of out of options there.
Yeah. You're not out of options.
Take off your.
Yeah, you have to run it as a. You don't have as many options. Yeah. You either have to make it into a rifle, or make it into a pistol, and remove anything that makes it an SBR.
But if you have something that's not capable of either of those options, like the honey badger or.
Why is the honey badger not capable?
Because the stock is.
You just take it off. It'll come off, right?
I don't think it does. I don't.
Oh no, because it's got like that PC or that
a weird buffer system. It has to. You can't take off the stock.
Or the brace,
rather. Yeah. Now, if you want SBR, then you can buy a stock to put on it. But then how do you? I don't know. But they specifically called that.
Miss Peggy, good morning.
Hi, Peggy.
Now you cannot. So something to be aware of. If the buffer tube is not part of the function of the gun, so say a CMMG Descent or a SIG MCX or MPX, you can't put a buffer tube on it and say that this is my pistol, okay? Because it's not required for the operation of the firearm. Why do you get a high and I don't get a high? That's not nice. So we're specifically talking about when it comes to the buffer tubes, AR style, or any firearm that requires that tube for the cycle of operations. Damn, I had something else that stood out to me as. I can't remember what else it was.
Peggy said hi. And you got a
Hi, Peggy.
emoji too. Special.
Damn it! I got distracted.
Good job.
Uh,
Shotguns.
so shotguns are not. You don't have to worry about that because this new rule only changes the definition of rifles, not shotguns. So people were worried about the like shock waves and that sort of thing being affected. Those are not affected.
But you can't go put a pistol brace on it.
Sure you can.
On the
Shock waves? Why not?
I don't know. I guess I didn't think about it like that.
They make them for it.
But those aren't the ones being challenged right now. I guess.
Correct.
So they're not even. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Peggy, you did. And in 922R thing, people were worried about complying with 922R, which is import firearms that have so many American-made parts on them and yada yada. Anyway, don't worry about it. It's not a thing. You don't have to worry about it. Only at the manufacturing level.
Yeah, they even specifically said that was the reason for that 922R is for the manufacturers and the importers. It wasn't necessarily meant for
us.
Yeah.
And then the 88-day thing. 4473, 88-day, automatic denial, so on. There was lots of back and forth on the interwebs about, yes, this is a thing, no, it's not, yes, it is, no, it's not. They flat out said it's not a thing. You don't have to worry about it. It's going to go through its normal process, just like everything else. It's going to take a long time because they're going to get overridden, potentially. Again, I like you being able to have your firearm and not pay the $200 tax. I hate the idea of registering so many guns at one time.
Did you hear about the what's it say? Short Act that one of the House reps introduced? I forget who it was, but him and a bunch of other representatives from the House and the Senate, they submitted the Short Act, which is stop harassing.
Oh yeah.
Something rifle owners or something. I don't know. Owners of rifles or something, but it's awesome. So they're basically challenging Congress to remove SBRs and short-barreled shotguns, I guess, is from the NFA, period, and to remove everything from the registration, which, yeah, okay, but yeah. I appreciate the ideas of grandeur, but that, I don't know, it's something that's in the works right now, along with, whatever GOA is doing.
Yeah, lots of lawsuits that are happening and so on.
So that's good.
In my opinion, again,
keep calling your reps, keep calling Congress, like, number one time to do that right now, because we need more people on board.
Simply just my opinion, but this thing's going to get challenged and it's going to get overturned. That's not going to happen in the next. It's not going to happen in the next 120 days. Okay, this is something that I think will go on for years this way, and then someday, 5 years from now, 8 years from now, 10 years from now, we're going to have a celebration.
I don't think it's going to take that long.
Go away. You don't think so?
I bet there's going to be an injunction. They are already in a mess of heat. Like, I think there's going to be an injunction, and they're going to stop it, and it's going to be put on hold.
That'd be awesome. I don't.
And then it's just going to fall to the wayside because ATF's going to realize that Congress is not on board, and it's just the more, and especially with the more that Bruin picks up and just keeps challenging all these cases. And I mean, it's a really good, and this brace rule is like the worst thing about the 2A community right now. But there's a lot of other good stuff happening right now with the 2A community. So learn more stuffs. I want to talk about stuff that I learned, but I don't know it well enough to talk to a collection of people. But.
So, bottom line, if you want to be in compliance right away, just take your brace off and you're there. If you want to SBR your stuff, have at it, SBR it. Just make sure you do it within the next 120 days.
And if you end up SBRing it in the future and you pay your $200, I mean, as much as we hate to pay the government extra taxes because we pay enough of that shit already. Oops. I think it's a small price to pay for truly waiting out to not registering your gun, but at the same time, oh no, don't register your gun. But the more people that do, then they're going to see this as a common, what's that term?
Common use.
Common use.
Yeah.
I mean, it's estimated there's like 40 million braces out there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and the ATF said, they estimated some low number, like.
Oh, they did not want to.
Yeah, like 300,000 or something like that.
No. They said that because they don't want to admit the fact that it is common use.
Yeah.
They are common use. Even using them to be on your shoulder, it's already common use. So.
Can't wait to shoulder my butt for you.
I know. I'm gonna try it in a little bit.
Maybe we're gonna try it.
I'm gonna try it. I don't care if you're there or not. We'll do it anyway. Just kidding. I'm kidding. Would never do that. It's not enough surface area.
So, I don't know. I don't know. This is a silly thing, and yeah, it sucks. So, make it a pistol, make it an SBR, or make it a rifle. Those are your options. Do what you want to do. Just make sure whatever it is that you're going to do, you do it in 120 days.
Or else.
All right. Or else. Anything for me? Questions? I'm asking you. I'm not asking you. I'm asking you. Any questions? Yeah. I was trying to ask you anything else we're supposed to talk about, and it came out this way.
Trauma course coming up.
Yeah, we have trauma course. I think it's this Saturday.
Yeah.
I think this Saturday Rob will be out here with for our trauma, our tactical triage and trauma course.
Yeah.
Medical stuff. Maybe I'll spend some time. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I got calls tomorrow, so maybe Thursday. Maybe I'll hop on and we'll try to do some trauma talk. Maybe. But super important. You need skills that you really should have. So. Andy, you know what's crazy is I grew up with this guy across the street from me.
Really?
We ran into each other at a match 100 years ago.
Nice.
And crazy.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. His older brother used to beat the crap out of me just for fun.
January 31st.
Yeah, started on January 31st. So, in a Ruger LCR on trade, and it's basically you can bring it in, Anthony. We can take a look at it. I don't know. That is definitely beyond our expertise on as far as guns. We're on the training side. The retail side does their own thing. So bring it in. I will tell you straight away, it doesn't matter what the gun is. You're always going to get more selling on your own. But if you just want to, because obviously we have to be able to take it in, warranty it, and then sell it for a profit because we're a business. So you could sell it for the same amount we could sell it for if you want to go through the hassle. So, but bring it in. Doesn't cost nothing to get an offer put on it, and they'll let you know. Andrew, yes, it started on January 31st, goes to May 31st. And it was interesting. They actually had an argument about whether...
It's a leap year?
Yeah, well, no. Like,
it's not.
On the 31st, are you still good?
Right. Or
because it was published at midnight on this time, like as of...
So June 1,
they were actually kind of bickering. All the different ATF agents were kind of bickering back and forth a little bit. Like, no, yes, you're good. No, you are, yes, not. You are not, yes. And so, I don't know. Do it before the 31st. Let's just say that you'll be safe. Whatever it is you're going to do, make it a pistol. Take the brace off. You're done. Make it a rifle. Put a 16-inch upper on it. You're done. Register it as an SBR. Form 1 it, and you're done. Form 1 looks daunting when you look at it, but it's a pretty simple thing. The other thing, that was what I was going to mention. The other thing that they said that surprised me is it does not require photos of the firearm, which I was surprised about.
They did kind of request, I didn't get a for sure on this because they kind of went back and forth. Like, they just want the markings on the receiver, so the serial number and the designation.
So, and here's another thing is when you Form 1 something, a lot of people think that you have to go when you build. So Form 1 means you're building something. So in this case, you're building an SBR. That you have to get it engraved. You do not. Unless you're going to sell it, then you have to get it engraved with your your information or your trust information. I had mine put on mine right away just because it's easy. Unless that now, if it's a like if it's an 80% lower that doesn't have a serial number on it, then in order to make an SBR, it does have to have a serial number. But if it's a
my apologies.
If it's a something that was a CMMG Banshee and it's got serial number ABC123, that'll suffice for the form. So. And this only applies. You can't go and buy a pistol today and be in that 120-day amnesty because it has to be something you owned prior to the publication date, prior to the 31st. So if you come and buy an AR pistol off our wall today, you own a pistol. You can SBR it, no problem, but you're going to pay the $200.
Or if you had a pistol in layaway, or it's on its way to an FFL or something.
If you don't have possession yet.
Yeah, if you don't have possession as of the 30th, then it has to be in compliance before it's turned over to you.
Yeah.
Before it moves anywhere. Even the FFLs have to make it in compliance. If we receive someone's gun here and it's a pistol, we can't give it to them until it's in compliance. So we are responsible.
Yeah, we have to make it. So if it showed up here with a brace, we have to remove that brace and we can transfer it to you then. But Enrique, that is not true, unfortunately.
Punishable by up to $250,000 and 10
years in prison. Yeah. I don't want to turn this into a sociology class, but the ATF is a regulatory agency. Regulatory agencies are granted certain permissions. Hi, Vincent. In our laws to be able to interpret laws and make rules that have the weight of law. This fits. Do I think it's an overreach? Absolutely, I do. They're acting within the boundaries of the law, except they're on the outside fringe of it because, in my opinion, I'm not a lawyer. I'm certainly no constitutional expert. But in my opinion, they've gone beyond what the scope is supposed to be for their regulatory prowess, right? Their ability to make rules and enforce them as law. There are limits, okay? And just like anything, when you give people power, individuals, you give them power, they want a little bit more power and a little bit more. And they keep stepping up, tiptoeing on the edge of what's allowable, and we just keep allowing it to happen. Then all of a sudden they've got this entitlement. That's where we're at, in my opinion, right now with ATF, is we've let them get away with little things, and they've acted within the boundaries of the law for a long time. Well, they're like, hey, well, we were able to do this, so let's do this, and now we're able to do that, so let's do this, and now we're getting outside of that. That's where I think this is going to get overturned. Okay, we see that with what was the
Short Act?
No, the New York.
Rifle.
Yeah.
New York State rifle pistol. Bruin.
Yeah. So that's going to come into play here, where it's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be deemed that they are not acting within the boundaries of the scope with which they're supposed to be acting. So can the ATF outright ban guns then? Just asking. No, they can't. That's a different thing.
It has to fall within the issue. So
yeah.
that they're regulating firearms within the NFA. So like the National Firearms Act here. ATF, you are now in charge of making rules in accordance with the NFA. The NFA went through Congress. Like the NFA, Congress said, okay, this is an acceptable ruling, and then now ATF, you are charged with speeding new rules through in accordance with the NFA. So if they couldn't just ban guns, period, unless it fell within the NFA confines. But again, you can see how they're stretching it. So
yeah.
That's where people are stepping in and saying, hey, you're taking this too far.
Yeah. So it's I think it's going to get challenged and it's going to get overturned. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
But the people who follow the law are people like us. So
Yes.
we're all here like, hey, we're going to do what you ask us to. We don't like it, but hey, we still want to maintain our Second Amendment rights and our voting rights and all these things. So that's the people that truly get hurt by these sort of regulations, are the people that follow the laws, not the criminals that are ones going out and doing this stuff. It's unbelievable that people don't realize that yet. Our politicians don't realize that yet. Maybe they do. I think they do.
I think they do too.
Yeah.
I think they do too. All right. It is 9:17. You guys have listened to us ramble for far too long this morning. So if you need something, come see us. We're open normal hours all this week, Monday through Friday, 10 to 8, Saturday 9 to 6, Sunday 10 to 6. If you need something, come hang out. It's going to be a crap week. Today's going to be pretty nice.
It is?
Yeah, it's supposed to rain like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like wintry mix, some
I try
crap.
not to look at the weather. I just like to be surprised.
Well, you definitely get it this time of year around here. Yesterday was freaking awesome. I got out on my bike for the first time in a long time, and one of my kids tried to kill me. I haven't been on a bike in so long. He wore me out. Anyway, you guys have a super awesome day. Stay safe, be nice to one another, and we'll catch you soon. Later.
Aqua
Awkward.
pause.